Yo, what's going on everybody? Just straight out of Boston here, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back for episode 18 of my Indiana Pacers MyLeague or an NBA 2K15 and take a look at the final season stats. I didn't show these in the last episode. I probably should have, but this is where all of our individual players ended up for statistics. And we're taking on the Toronto Raptors in the conference semifinal, so I figured I would show their statistics as well. And you can take a look at the player overalls as well in the top left hand or the sort of middle left hand, whatever. I don't even know what I'm saying, but anyway, so yeah, this is a pretty deep team, pretty good team. They were pretty good in real life, and they were really good in this. They were the #1 seed. They won 50-something games, I think. And we're taking them on to round 2, so we're going to simulate up to the first elimination game as always and see if we can try to pick up a few wins here at least. We actually take game 1 in Toronto. We're going to take game 2 as well, and we win game 3. So for the second straight series, we open up a 3-0 lead on the team we're facing. And we're going to have a game 4 in Indiana this time with a potential to close out this series against the Toronto Raptors. That is not something I saw coming. I really thought this might be where we finally get done in. We had played really well at the end of the season, so I felt like I was pretty confident going into the Cleveland Cavaliers series, but this team won 66 games. It just flashed up on the screen. They finished the year 66-16, and I think the most recent team to win that many games was the 2013 Heat, and then I think the 2010 Cavs did it, and I think the 2008 Celtics as well. And a couple of those late 2000 Cavs team won a lot of like 60 regular season games, but I don't think anyone's won 66 since that Miami Heat team. So that's a pretty good regular season record, and this team is very, very good. They're led by DeMar DeRozan, who put up 24 a game. That is the thing you could say about this team, is they might not have like a true superstar. And another thing is, I don't know what happened to Kyle Lowry. It didn't say he was hurt on the injury screen. It said their only injury was Terrence Ross, who I think might have played this game. I think he played limited minutes. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know what happened to Kyle Lowry. He didn't play today, and I would guess he probably didn't play the entire series, considering the fact that we're up 3-0 so far. So I don't really know what happened to Kyle Lowry. I imagine that's probably the reason why we're up 3-0 on this team, because if you take away Kyle Lowry, they're certainly not a 66-win team. Kyle Lowry's pretty darn good. So anyway, here's Moody running the pick and roll with Paul George, and that actually works out pretty well. Didn't think that was going to work, but it does. So George rolls to the basket and gets the two-handed dunk. We're actually up 1 point right now. Greivis-Vasquez tries to pull up, actually passes it, and then great ball moving to Lucas Najurier. Still don't know how to pronounce that name, but I think that's his only bucket of the game, so it doesn't really matter from this point on. Great ball movement down low to Kelly Oubre. That's no good, but Oubre gets his own rebound, up fakes, and then eventually puts that one back up and in. And we're back up by 3 now, 21-18. Tyler Ennis with the ball, given up to Paul George. Tried to, at least. That's intercepted by Vasquez to Williams, down to Amir Johnson, and Amir Johnson slams it down with 2 hands. Raptors staying in it so far, 23-22. Amir Johnson downloaded to Lucas, and Lucas tries to go back to Johnson. It's tipped. Johnson gets the loose ball and actually puts it back up and in anyway. So they have a 3-point lead right now at the start of the second quarter, 26-23. Greivis-Vasquez still in the game. I believe he started over Kyle Lowry. I think they started DeRozan, Lou Williams, and Greivis-Vasquez. So anyway, we have a nice play coming up right here. It's going to be after the pick and roll. Jota has to switch on to Moutier, so that's going to put a little guy on DeAndre. So they're going to put Valanciunas on DeAndre, which means Paul Millsap now has the little guy. We quickly recognize that, and it's Greivis-Vasquez. He's going to have to try and cover Paul Millsap in the post, and that's just not going to work out. Millsap up fakes and then puts it up and in. So that was great. That was a great heads-up play by Emmanuel Moutier, realizing the mismatch and then getting the ball over to his power forward. He's taking advantage of the mismatch. Then Millsap, extra pass to Butler here in the corner. He's going to knock down that 3, and we tie the game up at 31. This is going to be rebounded by DeAndre. DeAndre's going to give it up to Moutier. We're going to try and run the fast break quickly up the court to KJ McDaniels, who leaps through the air, and that is pure athleticism from KJ McDaniels right there, using his long, lanky arms and being able to get to the bucket there without having much contest. So anyway, 35-all is the score. Here's Vasquez with the shot. That's going to be no good, but it's rebounded by, I believe that's Jaita, and he gets his own rebound again after the putback. Jaita was giving us a problem. I think his full name is like Muhammad Jaita, but that's really hard to pronounce, and he is a 2015 draft prospect, and here he is again getting an offensive rebound. He was giving us some trouble on the glass, especially in the second quarter. We're actually down by 5 right now. DeAndre out to Moutier for 3, and Moutier with the shot clock winding down knocks that one down. We're down by 5 though, 45-40. Here's DeRozan up the court to Williams. Butler overshoots him, and then KJ McDaniels' block attempt is not good enough. So it's 47-40. We'd hit a 3, get back to a 4-point game. Now Moutier gets the rebound. He's bringing it up the court, gives it to Paul George. George is going to try and thought about taking it himself, but gives it to Anthony Tolliver cutting to the basket. He hits the tough layup. Now it's a 2-point game, 53-51. Here's George again on the fast break, goes right through the defense and slams it down with one hand, ties the game up at 53, and it's going to be a tie game at the half. 55 all is the score. The Raptors getting some buckets on this Pacers defense. I've talked about it all year long. We've built this team on defense. That's our strength. And we don't want to play a game into the hundreds with a great offensive team like the Raptors. Now, we are shooting 58%, but I would say that's probably not sustainable considering our offensive talent. I just don't think we're the type of team that can win a game if it gets into the 110s, and I think the Raptors are much better suited to win a game like that. So we've got to try and slow it up a little bit, try and get it out of that track meet style and get it back to the style that we like to play, keeping the game in the 80s and 90s. So anyway, that's a fadeaway jumper right there from DeMar DeRozan to get the half started. 57-55, Moutier with the ball now, bringing it up. Little crossover dribble to the basket, actually going to kick it out to Paul Millsap for the jumper, and he will knock that one down. 57 all is the score. Now Lou Williams with the ball is going to dribble it up himself off of the inbound play. 59 all is the score. Williams picked up by Butler, but a great backup by Jonas Valanciunas, and he knocks down the one-handed floater. 2-point lead once again for the Raptors. Here's Paul George coming off a screen, kicks it to Millsap in the corner. Paul Millsap knocks down the three. Not something I've shot, or not a shot that I've shot a lot with him this year. He probably has only hit 10 or 11 threes all season, but he can knock down that shot when he's open. And he wasn't really that open there, but he knocks it down anyway. And then Moutier with the dunks. We're up by 3, 67-64. Paul George with the ball, being covered by Jaita. He's going to actually end up giving it to Paul Millsap, who makes a nice back cut to the basket, getting by his defender. And now we have a 5-point lead, 69-64. A steal from Moutier. He's going to take it all by himself off the backboard to himself. And it's a 7-point lead on the highlight reel dunk from Emmanuel Moutier, the rookie, getting it done in the playoffs. He's having a fantastic game, the rookie of the year. Only put up about 12 and 6 throughout the regular season, but he has had a fantastic playoffs and is having a fantastic game 4. Now KJ McDaniels, great pass to the cutting Moutier, who knocks down the contact layup. He's in the 20s now for point total. Ennis to McDaniels, McDaniels to Oubre. No one really picking up Oubre. Finally, Jaita gets to him, but it's up to Tyler Ennis for 3, and Ennis knocks it down. He's got 7 points, and that was a quick 14-0 run to get us up 78-64. After they get a basket, it's a 12-point lead. KJ McDaniels in the quarter. He gets it up to 15. Now it's 85-70. Here's Patrick Patterson with the ball, kicking it out to DeMar DeRozan on the perimeter, looking for the screen, coming around, pulls up from mid, and gets it to go. The lead's down to 13. The start of the fourth quarter, trying to hang into this game. Jimmy Butler with the ball, gives it to Millsap. Millsap extra pass to Ennis, who's too deep, takes a step in, pulls up in the face of Lou Williams, and knocks down the 3. Tyler Ennis is red hot, and you can see him getting the crowd pumped up right there, holding his hand, trying to see how hot he really was. He was on fire tonight. We had great bench production from Tyler Ennis and KJ McDaniels. I think Kelly Oubre as well. They each had like 8 to 10 points, and that really made up for some of the that really made up for a lot of the scoring that we had. I think that was really a big factor in getting us up to, at this point, 96 points, not even halfway through the fourth quarter. So it's a 20-point lead, 6 minutes to play. Raptors trying to make one last run to try and save their season. It's Patterson for 3. He knocks that down. A beautiful pick and pop from Vasquez and Patterson. It's a 17-point lead, but now we get a steal. Butler up the court. He's going to give it to Millsap. Millsap trying to dribble in, finds Emmanuel Moutier in the corner. Long 2 is good. Lead back up to 18 or 19. Now it's 21. Vasquez 3. That's an air ball, no good. Rebounded by George. He gets it to Moutier. Now running the break. Moutier is going to take it all by himself into the paint, and he knocks down, or he gets the one-handed slam, and he's got 32 points on the evening now. DeRozan with the ball, tries to pull up fakes, goes up again, draws the and one. DeRozan trying to get his team back in it, but with 3:30 to play, it looks like it might be a little too late. Vasquez pulls up after losing the ball there, almost a steal from Moutier, but he recovers, knocks down the jumper. 19-point lead with 3 minutes to play. 104-85. Moutier looking for a screen, trying to add on to his point total. He's going to give this one to DeAndre, and DeAndre is going to get the left-handed layup over the defender from the Raptors right there. DeAndre, not the best touch around the rim, as I'm sure many of you know, but gets that layup either way. And then George and DeRozan battling once again. This time DeRozan passes it to Valanciunas, who makes a nice cut to the basket, gets the layup with the left hand. Now Lou Williams to the basket. That's no good. Rebounded by George. 6 seconds left. They're going to tick down the clock, and the Indiana Pacers are moving on to the conference finals for the first time since 2014. Their third trip in 4 years to the conference finals, as they are back from the dead after missing out on the playoffs last season. They rebuilt through the offseason, and now they are back in the conference finals. That's been our goal all year long. Thought if we could win 2 playoff series, get back to the conference finals, that's where this team should be if we're trying to compete for a title in the next year. So a great performance. We actually had a lot of turnovers this game. We had 11 turnovers, which was way more than I want, but we hit so many of our shots. We hit 59% of our shots that it really ended up not mattering, and our defense stepped up in the second half. They only allowed 30, 40 points, I think. I can't remember what the Raptors finished with points. I think they had 86, so they only allowed 31 points in the second half. Our defense really stepped it up. We turned it into the type of game that we wanted to play, and because of that, we were able to pull off the victory. DeRozan, 36 points. He did take 30 shots, though, and then Williams had an inefficient night. Vasquez was pretty inefficient, and other than that, they didn't get any offensive production out of anyone. So it was a great game overall for my team. That's going to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy. I'm out. Peace.